You're here. So why doesn't everybody share in the chat where you're from? We can get to know each other. Court, I was just kind of stalling, waiting for you. So
sorry guys.
Over to you.
I'm East Coast, so it's 4 p.m. and crazy time, but everybody is in position and ready. Welcome.
You're West Coast. You're West Coast.
Yeah, West Coast, sorry. Welcome. This is our very first January coach mentorship call. So this is call 1 of 3. I'm so excited to kick this off. This is one of my favorite mentorship groups starting in January because you have the entire year start to finish. And that's just really exciting for you in terms of your vision and your goals, but also with Beachbody and its recognition programs. Like you get the full year to really make the most out of this. So that's really, really exciting. I want to congratulate you on opening a business. You are officially a boss, self-employed, an entrepreneur, a CEO, whatever you want to call it. You have a new business here at your fingertips. And we want to help you figure out what that means and what that looks like and help give you the tools to make the absolute most out of this if that's what you want to do. The very first thing that we tell every single new coach is that your journey is your job. This job is about you, your health and wellness, and your life journey, celebrating and growing and learning within your health and wellness. You are never going to stop learning and evolving and growing in your health and wellness journey. If you have a certain amount of weight you'd like to lose, it's not like you're going to lose that weight and then you're going to be at the destination and just coast from there. Here to tell you that from experience. Like this job is all about the decision to take your health and wellness really seriously and to share that with others. So that is really exciting to me. That is something that I wish I fully understood in the beginning. I kind of saw it as sharing my weight loss journey as opposed to just like embarking on a new lifestyle. And so it's also the greatest gift of coaching is the accountability you now have in order to focus on this, right? Because so often as busy humans, we can say we want to focus on getting fit or focus on our nutrition, and then things come in the way, right? Like life events happen, whatever, all the excuses creep in. But now that you're a coach, you actually are sharing this and have this added accountability. And I want you to use that from day one for your own personal growth. Like you first, no matter what, ruthlessly. Tonight we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things, but first I'm just sort of like some housekeeping stuff about like initially your thoughts surrounding what this is going to look like for you. We often separate coaches in 2 sort of groups. One is a hobby coach and one is a working coach. So a hobby coach is somebody that wants to be a part of this community, wants to focus on their health and wellness, wants to get products at a discount, and invites people to join them here and there. A hobby coach probably doesn't make that much money, but they probably get their products covered every month by adding 1 or 2 people to their community, by someone repurchasing BOD or Shakeology or something like that. A working coach is somebody that actively wants to build this business. And I think that it requires some vulnerability to raise your hand and say you want to be a working coach. Because so many people, when they start off, it's like, you just see how it goes, right? I will never forget Jamie Fitzpatrick, who I joined Kim and Jamie's training when I first started. He asked us, do you want to be, or are you going to be a walker, a jogger, or a runner? And I was like, oh, like, I'm definitely not going to say runner. That's so much pressure. And walker sounds like loser. So I'm a jogger, right? And that was essentially me just like playing it safe. Like, I'm going to see how it goes. And as I got into the business and I started to see the opportunity and get a little bit more confidence because I had a customer and then 2 customers and then 3 customers, I started to really feel in my belly and admit to myself that like I wanted to be a runner. So don't feel the need to proclaim this now or state it. It's going to change for you how you pace in this business and maybe the amount of hours that you commit to this business, all that kind of stuff is going to change. But I just think it's really good to get that on our radar and to see how that makes us feel. Like, are you going to be a walker, a jogger, or a runner? Start to think about that and start to think about, what that means for you in this business. Something that will tie directly into this is why you're even doing this. And I want to tell you right now that to help people is not going to cut it. This is about you. And it's really important that you understand why you're doing this. Because the women that join, they're like, I just love helping people. I just really want to impact lives. Like, that's all great, but that's not having you show up when life is chaotic and shit's hitting the fan and you still need to work an hour of this business every day, right? What's making you show up is like, I want to financially impact my home by making an extra $500 a month or extra $1,000 a month. Like, that will make you show up, because nobody's making that for you. And Sally, that's in your community, that's like loving the programs and lost 10 pounds, she's not making that money for you either. The impact of other people is not going to help you financially, right? So like, it will, but you know what I mean? There has to be a reason, and it doesn't have to be financial. For me in the beginning, it really was all about my journey. I needed to be accountable to my own fitness journey. I used this as the thing to get me there. So start to figure out like why you want to coach. Is it community? Is it financial? Is it your personal accountability? And be vulnerable enough to admit that, okay? Because the more vulnerable you are in sharing these initial desires, the more people want to watch and see what happens. It's like storytelling, right? Whereas if you're just like seeing how it goes and playing it safe, nobody really cares. You're probably not being that consistent. You're probably not being that interesting. Like, no, I don't need to tell you, there's a lot of other people just working out on Instagram, right? So by being vulnerable and by being authentic about what you want out of this, it's going to catch people's eye, and then they're going to want to see if you succeed or if you fail at that. And I don't want to, like, I don't think I've ever seen a coach fail, right? Because success in this looks different for everybody, but that's like human nature, right? You're going to start this and you're going to start putting yourself out there, and there's going to be a lot of people in your life that are like, what's she doing? Like, oh, another fitness coach? Like, oh, is this a pyramid scheme? Like, there's going to be people in your life that feel that way. And that is going to hold some of you down. And we're going to talk about that too, and how to navigate through that. But I want you to be aware of that now, and to be so deeply rooted in why you're doing this, so that when some of those feelings start to come up, you remember why you started this. For me, I want to lead a healthier life. I wanted to stay accountable to my fitness journey. And honestly, I did want to be financially independent from my husband. Not in a weird way, just like I want to be able to stand on my own 2 feet, like no matter what, right? So think about that. And maybe if you've started a notebook, like, hopefully everyone just has like a lined paper notebook, maybe flip to the front cover and start to jot some of those things down. Like, why am I doing this? The next thing is going to be setting some goals. So I really hope that you guys have started to go through the training that's offered by Beachbody. We used to put together a whole bunch of videos that Erin and I recorded together, and we did it, like, it took us like hours and hours and hours. And then we realized that like Beachbody has incredible training. And you know what? This business is about duplication. It's about using the systems already in place to help other coaches do what we're doing. We really are a collaborative network. And so by using Beachbody's training, it's like, hey, if you signed up a coach tomorrow, there's no secret sauce over here. I don't have any magic that you don't. Lead them to the Beachbody training tab, just like you've done, and they're off to the races, right? So we're trying to show you that it's doable, and also the training is incredible. So under the training tab, I hope you've started to click through some of those things, and starting to think, like, if you're starting to hear about some of the recognition programs or the rank, and start to think about some of those for goals. And Erin's going to talk about those a little bit more specifically. But for me, when I'm thinking about setting goals and we're like call 1, new group, I'm more thinking like, make $500 a month, or, you know, qualify for the next test group, or enroll 5 women, open a community, host a challenge group with 3 women in it, right? Like 3 women in your first challenge group, guys, is a win. It's a win, because it might be the most engaged challenge group you ever run. The more intimate they are, the more incredible they really are. And for that reason, we have restarted our accountability groups at the beginning of each year, because we find once they get so big, people stop engaging and the magic is lost. So instead of having that mindset of like, only 3 people joined me, like this is embarrassing. No, like flip that. If you have 3 people, that's incredible. And you can serve those 3 people in the most powerful way. I'm going to pass it to Eric.
Awesome. I'm so excited to come tonight and connect with all of you guys. All right. So show of hands, if you're brave enough to show us your face, show me a hand if you also have like a full-time job, or if you're a parent, you have other responsibilities, like you barely have time for this gig right now. Okay. That's pretty much everybody, right? When you start this, it's usually something that you're going to like try and figure out at the corner of your desk, and maybe sort of hopefully you'll find time for every day, right? But I really want to encourage you guys to treat this like a business right from the get-go. And I know Courtney talked about like the walker, jogger, runner, and maybe this is kind of starting out as a hobby and you're doing it because you love it and you want to share that with other people. But I really want to urge you to treat it a little bit like a business and commit to doing what I call having office hours. And this really is just a way for you to frame your mind around treating this like a business and scheduling time every single day, if that's how much you want to work, to actually do the things. I know for me in the beginning, I was so obsessed. I loved it so much that I would literally be like this all day long, right? If somebody messaged me back, I'm like, oh, they're excited, they want to join. So I would be messaging them back all day long. And then lo and behold, I felt like I was constantly all the time working. And like that doesn't serve your family. And I'm telling you now, it's not going to serve you or your mental health either. So try and do a little bit of a time audit. Look at your day. Start, if you wake up at 5 or 6 or 7, write on a piece of paper every single hour of the day until you go to bed at night, and figure out when you're going to fit this in. Like, do you have 3 20-minute blocks a day, or do you have an hour a day, or do you, like, depending on what your goal is, do you have 2 hours a day? Figure out when you're going to actually work this business and communicate that to your people. Like, tell your family. I know for me, in the beginning, I really just worked this business once my kids went to bed at night. So they would go to bed at 8, and between 8 and 10, I would hustle hard. Now, this was a time when pre-coaching, I would hang out with my husband and we would like sloth on the couch and watch TV. So this was something that I really needed to communicate to him and be like, listen, I'm doing this thing. I'm now going to be like using this time to try and work and help people and make some extra money for our family. At that time, one of our goals was really to buy a place on the water. And that was really what was my why in the beginning of like really trying to make extra money for us to be able to afford this like dream of ours. So anytime that I felt like, oh, I should really just sit and watch TV, or, oh, I'm tired, or I don't want to tonight, like I would think about that and I would be like, no, that place on the water that I want to raise our kids at and have our summers on the water every summer and have Thanksgiving at the lake, like that matters to me more than watching Grey's Anatomy or whatever tonight, right? So linking back to what Courtney said, like firm up that why and then figure out when your hours are, write them down and stick to them like they're your job, right? Like you're not going to not show up to your job or whatever your office hours are for work. So stick to this. But, and this is a huge freaking but, have the discipline and the work ethic to actually work during that time. If you're taking time away from your people and other things in your life, work during that time. Don't spend the time scrolling on social media, watching Courtney or my stories, or watching other coaches and being like, oh, they're doing this, I should be doing this, or that's doing better, or I don't know what to post, or like have the discipline to just work during that time and move on. You'll notice that in our training, it's really focused on action. We have a to-do list. that like action item list of every week we recommend right at the beginning, this is what the actions you should be taking. The reality is that when you start this business, there is so much training. Like Courtney said, we previously had hours of training. If you look up any of the top coaches, they share all their training on YouTube, all their team calls. You can spend hours on podcasts and YouTube soaking in all of the trainings and trying to become the best coach you can before ever actually making a post or talking to anybody, right? But the reality is if you keep just watching all of these videos and trainings and podcasts, your business is actually not even starting. This business truly is a do, then learn business. You can't learn your way to doing this business. You need to do first and then learn from it and then pivot and move forward. So we really want to emphasize taking action and doing the things in order to advance your business, instead of sitting back and just being like, oh, I'm going to watch a video and a training video tonight. And oh, that's a good idea. That would be like, I could rather do that, but then not doing anything. Like your business actually hasn't even opened yet. Okay. So print off that list, start going through that every week and challenge yourself to like check them off and go through the action items. When I spoke about your office hours and sitting down and working, I remember in the beginning being like, I don't even like, what am I doing? Like, what do I do during that time? So during your office time, when you're going to be sitting down at a desk, at a place to work, like don't just sit on the couch, like find a place that has like your focused work energy and sit down at a desk and do this. And you're going to get out the business activity tracker. They now have this electronically in the coach office. If you're like somebody who likes to kind of tick boxes electronically, you can do it electronically in the coach office, or there's a printed version. Mine's laminated because I used to just use the same one over and over week after week. And it literally tells you every single day the things you should be doing, right? It's not rocket science. Like drinking Shakeology and working out is on here, right? Taking care of yourself is on here. Personal development is on here. But the stuff you're going to do when you sit down for your actual working hour is that connect, invite, follow up. And also I would put on get people results, because that's where you're going to connect with the people who've joined you and helping them to get results, right? But that connect, invite, follow up is really what we're also going to be talking about in our weeks moving forward to help you to really set how you do that and how to do that in a way that feels like true and authentic to you. But really, this business is network marketing, which comes down to your network. And they say that your network is your net worth. So having the courage to invite people in your current network, having the courage to talk to people in your current network, is especially in the beginning as you're starting to build this and build a client base, is really how you're going to get started. And I know for me, that was really scary. It felt scary to feel like I didn't want to sell my friends or sell my family. But the reality was that I was in love with these programs. I loved how the work has made me feel. I loved how I was finally taking time for myself. So reaching out to my friends and asking if they wanted to also feel the same way didn't feel scummy. It genuinely felt like I was giving them a gift and I wanted to share that with them, and let's do that together. So I really encourage you to, we have this in the action item list, to start writing out lists of names of people who you think could benefit from this. And don't overthink it. Like, don't be like, okay, Sally, Rachel, Janelle, oh, not Heather. Like she wouldn't want this. She would judge me. She already has the gym. Like, don't overthink it. Just write down all the people in your life who you would want to do this with. Like, genuinely, when me and Courtney, when we started, we did this with our other sisters and our mom, and we all did 80-day obsession together. It was the most fun because we had a chat pod. We were like bickering, but not bickering, bantering back and forth, like encouraging each other, laughing. Like, it is fun when you do this with your people. So do not hesitate to start thinking about the people in your life that you would want to do this with and connecting with them and asking if they want to do it with you. It really is as simple as being like, I'm working out, you want to work out with me, we can keep each other accountable, right? But start writing that list of all of your people, and so that you can, over the course of the next few weeks, start going through your list and knocking people off, okay? All right. Because this is about your network, obviously I'm hoping at this point everybody has some sort of social media presence, whether you have 30 followers or 30 friends on Facebook or 300. But I want to encourage you to start and spend maybe 5 minutes every single day to continuously expand that follower base and continually expand your network. I know for me, when I first started this, like I I think I had like 150 friends on Instagram. Maybe I think I had about 500 friends on Facebook, but it was mostly people that I was connected with right then and there, right? I took some time once I became a coach to reconnect with people who I wasn't following on Instagram, who wasn't following me. I started adding all of the moms that I was meeting in the community. I added my colleagues who I hadn't added before. I added old colleagues, and I really took the opportunity to reconnect with people. So start and spend 5 minutes every day making sure that everybody you know or used to know or in your like network is following you. Because once you start sharing a little bit more on social media, that's how you're going to connect with people, and that's how they're going to watch you and be interested in what you're doing, and how you're going to also be able to help them. So start making an effort now to expand your network and continuously do that every single day, because a little bit every single day adds up to a lot. Okay, so we have Beachbody has a recognition platform so that every month, if you were to add sell 3 total solution packs, 3 or 5 total solution packs every month, you'll hit what they call Success Club. They have their Success Club system. And in order to hit Success Club every single month, you need to sell 3 total solution packs, which would get you 2 points each for Success Club 6, and then 2 points each for 5 of them for Success Club 10. Hitting those recognition levels every single month helps you to advance your business forward, and it also gives you an opportunity to be recognized by Beachbody, which is really fun. They do, we actually just got this past year, so every year they put out what their rewards are for hitting these milestones. Last year, if you hit it every single month for the 12 months, you got a pair of Ray-Bans. So we actually just got an email coming out saying like, these are the different Ray-Bans you can choose. And we all got to choose our own Ray-Bans. So they have something month 1, month 3, month 6, month 9, month 12. So Courtney's right. Starting in January, you're the luckiest because you actually get an opportunity to hit all 12 months. So aiming to sign up 3 to 5 people minimum in the beginning of your business is a really great goal. It helps advance your business forward, and it also helps you to start building that client base. Your first main milestone as a coach will be to be hitting those Success Club every single month, but also when you hit Success Club for 3 out of the first 6 months of your business, you'll hit what we call Success Starter. And this is honestly like one of the most exciting things, because once you hit a Success Starter, you get to be in Beachbody's newest fitness program. You get to test it, not be in it, but you get to test it out as one of the first coaches. This is a really super amazing opportunity. You get to test out before it's released, before anybody gets to try it. You get to test it out. You get to be one of their you submit your befores, you go through the whole program, you submit your afters, they get to use your pictures, you get closely connected with the trainers. It's super cool opportunity. So Courtney and I always like to share that in the beginning so that you know the opportunities available to you. So hitting Success Club every single month really does add up, and it gives you great opportunities. It does also, becoming a Success Starter also awards you a free ticket to the Coach Summit, which happens this summer in St. Louis. So that's pretty exciting too. I will say, I know that they switched their Success Starter program for 2022, and I think you have to hit it 4 months now. Court, is that right? 4 months. I think it's 3 months to get Success Starter and 4 months to get into the test group. Is that right? Yeah. So they've upped the ante. So all the more reason to kind of like get going. Use January as your month to hit Success Club for the first time, so that you don't miss out on any amazing options there. Did you want to interrupt, Court?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was off mute.
Okay.
But I am ready to interrupt whenever you're done.
Should I go through Emerald or no?
Sure.
So the first milestone in your business in terms of rank advancing would be to hit Emerald Coach. So in Beachbody, they have different rankings, and you can learn a little bit more about this in the coach office if you're like super like to geek out on this kind of stuff. I know I watched all the videos and they really help you to understand it, but your first rank goal would be to be an Emerald Coach. And that's signing up 2 coaches or 2 preferred clients, 1 on each of your legs. If you haven't watched all the coach genealogy or compensation videos, really encourage you to watch that so you can understand a little bit more about the legs. But to hit your first goal as Emerald, you'll sign up 2 coaches or 1 coach or preferred client either. Once you get to Emerald, you get to unlock the compensation plan a little bit more so that you're not just earning commission-based, you're also earning volume bonuses based on the volume of your team. This is really an amazing opportunity to not just keep making money based on the things that you're selling, but also start to earn more residual income based on the team you joined. The reality in this business is that the team you join matters because we all contribute to the same, like you contribute to the same leg as your coach, and your coach adds other coaches there, and you're all kind of contributing to the same volume account. So getting to Emerald is when you can actually start taking advantage of all the volume underneath you and all the other coaches who are working on the same team with you. Highly encourage you to get there as soon as possible, because once until you get there, that volume underneath you isn't accruing. So maybe your coach added somebody else underneath you and other coaches are already underneath you, and you're not earning any of the volume based on the sales that are happening there until you get to Emerald. So Emerald is the key first step. It's also when Beachbody's going to start sending you customer leads every month. So the people who go on Beachbody's website and just sign up for BOD or Shakeology on their own, everybody is still getting a coach, right? So those people, whether they know it or not, are being assigned a coach. And if you hit Emerald and Success Club every month, then they're going to start sending you those customer leads, and you're getting free customers every month. And then when those customers decide to buy again, you'll earn that commission off of their sales, which is super great. Okay, Court, back over to you.
Okay, this is a tip that we started giving 2 months ago that I really feel is so good, and I want to share with you guys. I think in a world where, you know, network marketing kind of exploded even more so 2 years ago when COVID started, and a lot of people started to realize that earning an income at home and being in control of your own finances was really attractive, right? And a lot of people started to sell online. So I think that in this climate, more than ever, it's so important that you come across as authentic and that you emerge as a coach properly and confidently. And so this is something that I want to share with you that I think is really going to help. For the next 30 days, and some of you have already started sharing like a coach, and that's great. Don't, you know, this doesn't need to change that. But if you are just starting to post and you're just starting to, you know, become a coach and share online, my recommendation to you is that you do not verbally invite anybody on your stories or in your posts for the next 30 days. My challenge to you is that you simply share your journey. You talk about what you're doing, you post your workouts, you share your meals, you can, you know, do some social proof kind of stuff, like, look at this girl I'm doing this with, you know, like that kind of stuff. But the minute you're like, join my group, here's my poll, here's my professional slides, here's this, here's that, it just feels salesy out the gate, right? So share your journey for the next 30 days in the most authentic and vulnerable way you can. And then in 30 days, start to share. This is also really great for anybody that like me is looking for a transformation, is looking to be proof of the product. Go all in on job 1 for 4 weeks. Share that journey on your social. Do the countdown, 1 out of 20 workouts, 2 out of 20, 3 out of 20. Like, take people on this journey. Be a proof of these products. Drink your Shakeology every day. Try a ton of different recipes. Like, just like go all in on a program. And then at the end of that, when you're ready to share your social proof, it's going to feel a lot more authentic to be like, who wants to join me on my next round? You know? Now, that being said, I'm a hustler. I'm not telling you not to add anybody, but those conversations are in the inbox. Those are private conversations that you have with your like close friends and family, your dirt list. Those are the people, right? So like, you know, writing down your dirt list and you have all your names down of people you would love to have, invite them privately, like how you normally would talk to them. You know, if you want to invite your sister, you're not going to go like message her on Instagram and ask her to join your workout group, right? You're probably going to call her or text her or whatever, right? So be natural, connect with your people in real life in whatever format you normally would talk to them, and then share your journey. In 30 days, it's going to feel a lot more authentic to start asking people online to, to join your group. We have, one of the top coaches, Angie Belmar, created a 21-day posting schedule. And I just made a note for myself. I'm going to put that in our group chat, and it's great. And it follows that method. It's 21 days of posting ideas. And some of them are just adding value. Some of them are recipes. Some of them are for fun. Some of them are workout based. Some of them are, but then on the 21st day I'm looking for, it's a call to action, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Don't do a call to action for your first little bit of coaching. It doesn't have to be 4 weeks. It doesn't have to be 21 days, but like, get comfortable, get out there, start sharing, be vulnerable, be authentic. And then it's going to be a lot more natural when you start inviting people to join you. Another thing I wanted to touch on was Erin said something about like, I don't know what she said, but it made me make a note about not comparing yourself. And this does kind of slide into what I just said. It's like, don't look at Erin posting her like quotes and affirmations and polls and stuff. She's been coaching for years. Everyone in her network that's watching her knows the drill. They know what she's doing. She's a full-time coach that's been doing it for 4 years, right? So for you, it's like you're just starting. A great challenge for you would be to talk to the camera. If you haven't done that yet, that is going to shock people. That is vulnerable because a lot of people before coaching aren't even posting pictures of themselves, let alone talking to the camera, right? So that's something that's great, that's eye-catching that you could do. And maybe it's just talking about your journey or a recipe or whatever, right? It's not like, hi, I'm looking for 5 people to join my group. Like that's going to feel so uncomfortable. And if it feels uncomfortable to you, it's probably going to be uncomfortable to them. The goal is always to, if your best friend is Sally, the goal is always for, if Sally's watching, to feel like you're being the same person on this side of the camera as that, right? So in order for you to get more comfortable, do normal, natural things online before you start trying to engage and sell online. On that note about, not using the polls and all the fancy slides, I think that, when people say like, okay, yeah, like send me some more info, what are you sending, right? So take some time to just write a super short email like, hey, I'm so excited you're looking for more info. This is going to be the first accountability group I've ever run. I have 1 woman enrolled already, so I'm hoping to have at least 5. Like, be vulnerable enough to start small, okay? Because you're not a professional coach. You're just like some girl that's like decided this could be fun and cool and great for your life. And that's great, right? So write a very short email with the pricing. And you can write, I can drop a sort of sample blurb with like what's included in the package, but keep it so simple. Like sometimes guys, depending on the person, I just say like the packages start at 160 or 186 Canadian. I'll help you choose which one's best. Because once they say like they're interested, they don't even know what Shakeology is or call it. Like they don't know what Energize is or Recover, right? Instead, it's like, okay, how's your nutrition? Like, are you going to really want to focus on nutrition? Because if so, I'm probably going to give you this pack, right? Like a lot of times, one way that you can be a coach right out the gate is to make that choice for them. Is to be like, okay, I know Erin because she's my sister, and I know that she, she pushes really hard in her workouts, and she struggles to wake up in the morning. So the performance pack would actually be best for her because it gives her energy in the morning and helps her with her muscle recovery post-workout, right? Or if someone's like, I'm just not a shake person, like no problem. Like I have an awesome bundle that has the Energize, Collagen, and Hydrate. It's brand new. It's called the Glow and Glow. So get a little bit more comfortable with how you talk to people and think about the solution that they need, right? So when you're talking to your besties, sometimes their pain points already. What they're great at and what they struggle with, right? So think about our products as the solution to their pain points and maybe make some of those decisions for them instead of sending them a massively long email that is like Greek to me, kind of thing, right? Because then it's like they're just kind of sitting on it and they're like, oh, they didn't write back. It's just like, yeah, I was going to loop back to that email, but like it was a run-on sentence and I don't even know where to start, right? So take some time to write out that super simple blurb. And then that's just another tip, is maybe to just put that packages start at number, so that when you get into conversation, you can create the package that fits their solution or fits their pain points. Erin, I'm going to toss a question to you. I was talking to one of the new coaches that's in this group, and she said that she felt like her warm market was drying up, and she asked for recommendations on how to approach cold market. So I briefly answered her, but I would love to throw you on the spot and just have you answer that question.
How long has she been coaching?
Yeah, like a couple weeks, a month, right?
Okay. So maybe your hot market is dry, and that would be like your sister, your bestie, your mom, your immediate neighbor. And like, let's be real, if you're in Canada, your COVID circle is small, right? Like the people who I've connected with over the last 2 years, like that's like, this many people. But that doesn't mean that your warm market is dried up. In fact, that means like that you're just barely getting at your warm market. And by warm market, that means people that you know, maybe that you don't talk to every single day, but people that you still know, or that know of you, or that you know of, right? So that would be anybody that you are connected with. And I would challenge you that it isn't as dried up as you would think. The average person, I think, knows like over 2,000 people, right? It's just a matter of you to kind of like jog your memory on who those people are. So what I like to do is I'll go to Facebook, because Facebook is kind of like was my original space. And I have a lot of people there that I haven't talked to necessarily, maybe in 5-10 years, but I'll go through my friends on Facebook, and it will honestly like trigger or jog my memory to other people that I'd forgotten about, other people that I'd maybe no longer connect with, or other people that I think would benefit from this, right? So I really encourage you to jog your memory on the people that you know, connect with the people that you know closely, ask them if they know anybody else who would want to do this with you. Like don't be shy to ask for referrals, and to just keep chatting with people. I like ultimately like 10% of people are going to respond right away and say, yeah, I'm interested, sign me up, right? Like maybe not even, like maybe 1 or 2%. The large majority of people are either going to like not respond, ignore you, ghost you, like kind of like shoo you away, or congratulate you and say no thanks, maybe another time. But those like little initial conversations are genuinely seed planted, and it's like an idea planted in someone's mind. And then as you continue to show up every day, and you're like Courtney said, people are going to be watching you and they're like, what is she doing? But every single day, as you continue to show up, you're reminding these people that like you mean business, you're still showing up for yourself, you're doing great, you seem to have a like happy, joyous energy about you, and they're going to keep watching you. And that seed that was planted in their mind of like, hey, I could do this too, or I could be included, I'm welcome as well, that seed grows, especially if people are watching you every single day. So now for me, like the people who join me aren't the people I messaged today. They're the people I messaged maybe like last month, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and they've kind of been slowly watching me, and it's almost like their confidence is building enough to be like, okay, maybe I'll try, right? You got to meet people where they're at. The large majority of people are not where you're at. You're like up here and you're taking care of yourself, doing really great, super happy, super energized, and everybody else is on the couch watching you being like, wow, can't do that, right? Give them time to meet you where you're at, right? So if you're feeling like your market you're drying up, I challenge you to go back to maybe those people you invited in the beginning, see how those seeds are growing, see if they'd be interested, or if they have the courage enough to maybe try something different with you. But I would say truly, it was 2 years in. I still have people joining me today that I know. There are still a lot of people who haven't joined me. So
yeah, and I think that you made a really great point in there too, that this business has such a delayed reaction You know, like the work that you do today is going to benefit you like in March. Maybe a little bit sooner because you're new and you're speaking to that hot list, right? But for me, like if I'm making new connections, like I'm not expecting them to sign up anytime soon. They just connected with me. Like that would be presumptuous and slightly weird. They need time to watch me, to believe me, to want to engage with me and be in my business. Like I need to create FOMO and attract them to what I'm doing and show them that I have the solution, right? So, yeah. Does anybody have any questions? You're welcome to take yourself off mute or drop it in the chat. We do have another 10 minutes and then we'll take a short break and we have our team call tonight, which you guys are all welcome to get on. Tonight we have a guest speaker, Ashley McClellan. She is from another team. She's had a huge transformation story, 4-time elite, 7-star diamond. So she's coming to share a little bit about her journey with us. But we have 10 more minutes if anybody has any questions. If not, we can wrap. I think, so next week, we share these calls with our diamond team. So every time a coach turns diamond, they join our diamond chat pod. And that is really where our leadership team is formed. And we share these calls with them. So I forget no, it's not Sarah next week. Might be. Anyway, I forget who's speaking next week, but we will post those events in Sisterhood Coaches and we'll continue to go over. Next week, we'll be talking a lot about social media, consistency, sharing more than your workouts, and then the huge bulk of the call will be on inviting. So as you go through the week, continue to ask questions in the chat and stuff like that. How essential is Facebook? I don't use it much at all, more on IG. I started out just posting on Instagram. It felt a lot safer because like Uncle Bob wasn't on Instagram, you know what I mean? And so do what you want. If you want to be on Instagram, be on Instagram. If you want to be on Facebook, be on Facebook. Ultimately, I am so far in that I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. And I'm so proud of what I'm doing that I post on both, but that took me a long time. So sometimes some posts I'll put on both, some I just keep on Instagram. But if you have never used it and your network isn't there, then it's not really a big deal. But for a lot of people, they have a big network on Facebook because it was kind of that first social media platform that blew up for our age group. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot by not using it. One thing for sure, like Erin mentioned, is it's a great tool. Even if you're not posting on it super actively, it's a great tool to pull up your friends list and to go through with your pen and paper and to find your dirt list, your hot list, and people you'd like to invite from there. One other thing I'll say about who to invite, because I think in the beginning, I really just thought I was looking for people that needed this. And that probably looked like people that needed to lose weight because that's where I was at in my life. I needed to lose weight. It's so much more than that. Do not grab low-hanging fruit type of humans because you think they need this, right? Look for humans that you want to be in community with, because that's what's going to make the most successful business is when you fill your community with incredible people. And that's why our team is so special, because great people know great people. And if you are looking to build coaches and build a team, they're going to come from your challenge group. So be careful who you add there. We've also added sometimes, over the years, they're not around anymore, but we've had I had one girl randomly from IG and she was super, super weird. Right. And I say that in the nicest way possible, but it ended up being very toxic in our group. Right. So just be careful. That's your community. That's your business. Take pride in everything you do in there and everybody you add. If you hated some girl in high school and you know that you do not gel, don't invite her because you need to hit Success Club this month. You know what I mean? Humans you want to do life with, exactly. Okay, guys, let's wrap. Erin, do you want to add anything else?
No, that's everything. I think this was an amazing first call. Really just want to encourage you guys to lean in, and over the course of this week, like guarantee at some point this week, you'll be like, what the fuck am I doing? What do I do? What am I supposed to do? How do I post this? Does this sound weird? Should I do this? Like lean into that chat. You are all in the same boat. This is all new for everybody. Everybody feels awkward or weird about some things. Everybody wants that, like that validation of, should I post this? Would you change something? And Courtney and I and the other coaches in that chat, like we're super real. There's no judgment, but we're also going to tell you if it is weird, right? Like we are there to help you. So please lean in, let us help you. We can only do as much as you want to do from it, right? So lean into the chat, participate, engage, make the most out of it, and get what you can out of it. All right, guys, have a good night. Hope to see you on the other call.
Bye, guys.